YouTube, please click the share button. Share it with your friends and family. So let's get into some Easter stuff. I do believe we've got some Easter forecasts to talk about. And Laurel, it's going to be really nice tomorrow, but Sunday will get a little hot, I think.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely going to get toasty out there for sure. Temperatures starting off throughout the mid-80s on Saturday, quickly warming up into the upper 80s. Hey, we might even be flirting with 90 on Sunday. So sunny, dry, and hot as we take a look at your Easter Sunday, so be prepared for that. Also, it's going to be a little bit on the breezy side as well as we take a look at your Easter Sunday. That's going to be another thing that we're really going to see that breeze pick up as we head through your Sunday afternoon.
Favorite Easter candy?
Okay.
If you celebrate Easter, obviously, do you have a favorite?
I have two options for this.
Pick one.
And I'm going to get judged harshly for one, I can absolutely tell.
I'm instituting a rule. You have to pick one.
That's tough. I don't know. I'm going to say both, but I think if I had to choose one, it's the little Lindt chocolate bunnies and chocolate bugs.
Oh, the chocolate bunny has to...
Shoot.
The chocolate... yeah, there you go. Yeah, the chocolate bunny has to be on the list.
Oh, yeah.
It's still locked, I think.
It was the little chocolate bunnies. It's like the little personalized ones that if you break the packaging apart, it can just be like little individual ones. But
I was going to say that too, yeah.
Lindt chocolate bugs in particular, those are my favorite.
Lindt chocolate bugs?
Yeah, they're like little bumblebees and ladybugs and beetles. Those were always my favorite.
I don't think I've had those.
But sub-answer, and I know I'm going to get probably a little bit of hate for this, black licorice jelly beans. Me and my grandmother, especially, what are they called? The... what's the really big version of jelly beans? It's not like Jelly Belly or anything. I'm totally blanking on the name. But the black licorice ones, me, my mom, and my grandmother specifically, we would fight over the black licorice jelly beans.
Interesting. So that was the Blanchard household on Easter Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
We just learned that.
Sure. What about you?
That I'm just going to go with the Easter bunny, the chocolate bunny.
Oh, like the big chocolate bunny?
Oh, yeah. The giant ones.
I was never able to finish a big chocolate bunny.
They are big, that is true. That's like a meal of itself.
And I have a sweet tooth, for sure.
You get a sugar high after that. Temperatures tonight, Laurel, are not going to be that bad. In fact, it'll be very nice if you've got a lanai and nice outside. About 65 tonight in Orlando. 70 in Cocoa Beach because the wind's off the water, so a little warmer there. 63 in the Villages and 61 in DeLand. Tomorrow, we're looking at highs pretty close to what you'd expect for the time of year. About 80 in Cocoa Beach, but with warmer temperatures in the western zones, that's going to mean a lot warmer air making it to I-75, which in turn means the fire risk will be higher from Gainesville to Ocala in the Villages. So tomorrow there's a high brush fire risk everywhere, but the fire risk is highest, especially once you get towards I-75. I mean, you can have brush fires when you're having a temperature near 80. It's just a little bit more favorable when it's hotter, and we'll keep an eye on that for tomorrow. Out there this evening, though, I mean, it's pristine for your Friday evening. As soon as we're done with this stream, I'm going to go grab dinner, and I'm excited to just feel that air. Also, because it's freezing in our studio, as it's supposed to be, because we've got a lot of equipment in our building. But, it's just that type of air where it's like you go outside and it's like just perfect. I mean, it's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's not too humid. I mean, it's just right down the middle, perfect for all kinds of weather right now. And you could see 78 in Sanford, 76 in Titusville, 76 in Daytona Beach. Big weekend in Daytona Beach, really for the next week. We've got Jeep Week. Should be great for the thousands that come from across the country for that. A lot of people drive a long way to come to Volusia County for that this weekend, and the weather should be fantastic. Let me peek on our YouTube. What's up, Michael Johnson? You can't wait for Easter. I hear you. Hello, Nicole Robbins. Hello, how are you? We've got a couple people on our YouTube. Thank you all for watching. And we're on Fox Local and our Facebook page. So there's the temperatures out there tonight. Across the country, there's really not a lot going on. In fact, I'll show you the big picture. There's really no big system other than snow in Colorado, which is a big deal because it is Easter weekend. But outside of that, things are pretty quiet. Let me see if I've got the camera still pulled up here. I don't know what it looks like right now. But yeah, how about that? What do you think about that, Laurel?
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, that's Breckenridge, Colorado, which you and I are both New Englanders, and I believe you ski, if I remember correctly, or
I
have skied. But I don't know if I would enjoy skiing Easter weekend, but that's the view right now from out west, and you can see it's a part of that cold front which is sitting in the Midwest right now, from Illinois down towards Missouri, Oklahoma, and Colorado. So other than that one front, things are really pretty quiet across the country, but it is worth noting that there is cold and winter still going on, and it's a balmy 16 now over in Breckenridge. It's actually going to snow tonight too in Denver, Colorado Springs, and Pueblo. So a lot of Colorado is going to get a view of that tonight. But yeah, any takers for the snow or no? In April 18th.
Yeah.
I'd say no.
No.
Yeah, no.
Actually, funny enough, when I was a senior in high school, I had snow on my prom, and that was in April. But that was in New England. So
yes.
I'm okay with not having any snow here in Florida in April. I'm okay with the springtime weather that we're feeling right now.
You know, it's been so nice here we lose sight of the rest of the country, because my mom was telling me in Connecticut it's been gross for the last few weeks. I mean, it's been cloudy and raining. I mean, a lot of people in other parts of the country have not had... They've had way colder than average and cloudier. I mean, in fact, it's going to be, I think, 80 tomorrow in, like, New York and Boston and Hartford. I saw
upper 70s.
Fox station, sister station in New York. They put out at, like, Donna Summer, the hot stuff, and people are like, people are freaking out, like, in a good way. Like, it's the first taste of, like, not freezing
and people
for a lot of people this weekend.
Nuts.
For so many people this weekend. I mean, we've been blessed here with the 80s, but it's really the first taste of warmth coming for a lot of people this weekend. But you can see those temperatures right now. I'll put up the temps across the country, and you can see right now if you're traveling for the holiday or you've got family or friends coming in for the weekend, Laurel. It's warm from the East Coast to the Rockies, but west of the Rockies, there's really not a lot going on. And in fact, it feels like, what is that, 28 in Denver right now, 44 in Salt Lake, 23 in Flagstaff. But look at even New York, getting up to 69 now in Syracuse.
Heat wave.
82 in Pittsburgh, 53 in New York. They're expecting 80s tomorrow. It's actually warmer in the Arkansas and Tennessee area than it is here now. But a warm Easter weekend from many east of the Rockies.
I'm okay with that, though.
Yeah, for sure. Not too humid either.
No, and that's even better.
Yeah.
That is even better, especially if you do have any outdoor plans. Things look good. So if you're possibly even thinking about getting some brunch Easter afternoon, Easter late morning, it's going to be beautiful. It will be beautiful out there.
And if you just missed us, there is your Easter forecast again. It looks really, really nice, but the wind, Laurel, might be a little bit of a nuisance. We've talked about that. I just refer to it as a nuisance. It's not. It's just enough that whatever you're doing, the wind is, you notice it outside.
Yeah, it's just enough to kind of blow the hair into your face. It's just that annoying wind. So if you're going to be soaking up the sun, especially on the beach, it will be gusty out there. And especially as we focus on the beaches, not only is it going to be windy, but be careful if you're planning on getting in the water. We are going to be seeing some pretty high rip currents on tap through the weekend. And especially with the beautiful forecast, I think there's going to be a lot of folks on the beach and thinking on getting in the water for sure.
The water temps have come up too, but you're going to talk about that more coming up in a few minutes. But the big story, Laurel, has obviously been drought. And shout out to you for some of these graphics. We'll walk you through the latest with the drought situation. But this is the view right now of the statewide drought, which you can see is about 40% of the state currently within drought. And if you look to our south, there's actually worse drought down in Palm Beach County. And then over towards Miami is still in severe drought. This will continue to expand. This is something that a lot of years is a big deal, a lot of years is not. It's just really based on the winter. I mean, it's a beautiful evening tonight. We don't want rain for your plans, but we really could use some rain. So almost half the state now is in drought. And no burning of any kind. Volusia, Seminole, Orange, Lake, Polk counties because of that. Now, let me leave this up, and I'm going to pull up something in my browser off to the side here. If you are joining us on YouTube, Facebook, hello. We appreciate y'all. Mom, hello from Connecticut. Nicole Robbins says hello. It's a Friday evening. It's Easter weekend. I'm sure a lot of people are outside, not cooped up inside. It's just too nice to be inside. But so in Central Florida, I'll zoom this in here. You can see around Orlando we're in that moderate to severe drought. And let me look here and show you. Let me pull this up. So I believe, let me confirm what I was looking at before. So the last, Orlando and Orange County is in moderate drought now. The last time it was in severe drought was, or extreme drought, excuse me, which is red, which I think it could rise to, was in 2017. And the last time before this year it was in severe drought was 2023, and then before that 2020. Now, interestingly enough, both of those years had a very wet summer relative to average. So it's going to be interesting to see, does that correlate with anything. Now, there is some research actually that does point to dry springs in Florida, very dry springs in Florida, towards a hurricane season that produces storms hitting Florida's east coast, which is a really weird thing because I'm working on that in my portion of our Storm Team Hurricane Special now. But it's an interesting observation to say the least. So the rain average by month, I mean, it does go up as we go forward. The average this month is only about 2 inches, and you can see it gets to 4 by May. We jump all the way to 8 in June, 7 in July, and 8 in August. So, I mean, eventually we're going to get into the rainy season. Some years it starts early May, some years it starts the end of June, but the average rain historically per month does take a huge jump up here as we go forward. You're in Brevard and you've been spared so far, Amy, for sure. We definitely need the rain, Lisa. Yes, we do. Eventually it will come, just probably not anytime soon. Now, I will take actually a peek behind the curtain and show you something that I've been working on. I won't spoil anything here, but something I've been working on for our hurricane special because it has relevance to my discussion right now, is that to get, and I'm really showing you what I've been working on, but this is the pattern needed. I won't show you the whole rest of it, I don't want to spoil it, but the pattern needed to get a tropical system to hit Florida from the east is a really massive hot area of high pressure over New England in the northeast. Which the crux of my portion of our hurricane specials, that used to happen a lot more back in the earlier and mid-1900s and hasn't happened in the last 50 years. Well, the reason why that is relevant right now is because if you look at the current satellite and radar, look what's sitting over the western Atlantic, this big high. And if this was like this in September, if there was a hurricane right here, but look at the arrows on here blowing. You know, see how they're blowing like this? See how they're blowing like that? Where do you think, if there was a hurricane where that X is, or here, or here, or here, where is it going to get blown towards? It's going to come in a way that really hasn't in 30 to 50 years. So there's no way of knowing now this early. It's just a broader point and an observation that there is something to be said if the drought does really get bad, that dry springs can often mean really wet summers, and then also depending on the position of this high, because that's why we're dry, if the high ends up staying in this general part of the Atlantic, meaning it's a western-based high, the steering patterns are going to push everything into Florida's east coast as opposed to this way, which is what we've had for the last 20 years, especially the last 10 years. So that'll be something to watch come summer on the weather maps, is where is this high located in the western Atlantic, which is influencing our drought, and also will have a say in the hurricane season. So here's the long-range pattern as we head into June 1st. I just made this about 20 minutes ago. This is from the blended models. The jet stream is going to cut across the middle of the country. It's going to be really dry in Florida and the southeast, below average. Now, this does not mean it's not going to rain at all between now and June 1st, because it normally does. It's possible it doesn't, but the point is that relative to average from now until June 1st, we're way below average in Florida and the southeast. So the rain deficit is going to grow between now and June 1st. And all of the heavy stuff, the heavy rain, the storms, the weather systems, that's all going to be out in the Midwest. You see there in green, from Texas to Maine to Illinois to Wisconsin in Oklahoma. And that's what we're going to watch. But certainly it looks like a dry pattern going forward. Now, it's been a very nice Friday. We don't have any rain out there, and we've got a lot of events going on this weekend, and it's going to be a lovely Easter weekend. I can't stress enough how nice it's going to be. And for more on the weekend, I want to bring in my colleague, meteorologist Laurel Blanchard now, who's going to walk you through more of that. And Laurel, it's been very, very nice today, and it's only going to get nicer heading into the weekend.
Yeah, it is going to be beautiful out there, and really getting a taste of spring as we take a look at the next couple of days. Taking a look of our Easter weekend, if you missed our first part of this little stream that we're going to start doing on Thursdays and Fridays. So set your calendars, set your alarms. 7:30 on Friday, we will be right here answering your questions about the forecast. If you have any weekend plans, definitely let us know. We can even give you a little bit of a personalized forecast. If you're planning on thinking on heading to the theme parks or the beaches, we got you covered for sure. But if you do have any Easter plans, things are looking good, and we're even going to turn up the heat even more, taking a look ahead into next week, so even better. Taking a look right now as we take a look at our Easter weekend, seeing those temperatures lingering throughout the mid-80s, warming up into the upper 80s as we take a look ahead towards the end of the weekend. We were talking a little bit earlier that the breeze is definitely going to be probably an impact point as we take a look a little bit later on in the weekend, especially on Easter Sunday. So heads up if you are planning on eating outside or anything. The wind is just going to be just enough that the hair's going to get in your face. It's going to be just a little bit too windy to put the windows down in the car. But also, if you're planning on heading to the beaches, it's going to be gusty out there for sure. Taking a look, we're going to see these gusty onshore winds, and with that, this is also going to really ramp up those rip currents as well. So if you are planning on heading to the beaches, let's start on Saturday. It's going to be a little on the wild side, especially when we're talking about those rip currents and the winds. Winds going to be coming in from the southeast, 10 to 20 miles per hour. Rip current risk is high through the rest of the weekend, so I wouldn't be getting in the water for sure, but we are going to be seeing those high rip currents. So if you are planning on getting in the water and are braver than I am, make sure you are swimming near a lifeguard. Although it is going to be a little bit of a high rip current risk, it is going to be nice if you are into surfing. With that, we're going to be seeing that wave period in between 5 and 8 seconds, wave heights between 3 and 5 feet on Saturday. If that's not your vibe and you're thinking on going to the beach on Sunday, we're going to be seeing a little bit less of a rip current risk, still on the medium side, and those winds still going to be gusty as we take a look at your Easter Sunday if you're planning on spending Easter on the beach. Overall, wave heights anywhere between 2 and 4 feet, not as great as surfing conditions, but overall it's not going to be too bad of a beach weekend on Sunday. Sunday definitely more of the preferred day if you're thinking on just dipping your toes in the water. This is what we're going to be seeing heads up into next week. Really, we're going to stay dry, but we're really seeing much more of that severe weather starting to ramp up again across the Midwest and the Deep South. So this is what we're looking at, another severe weather outbreak most likely occurring as we take a look on Saturday, especially from Dallas all the way up to Springfield, Missouri, and even stretching all the way over to Pittsburgh. We're going to see another round of severe weather really start to pick up. And even taking a look at Sunday, seeing that very likely chance of severe weather just to the northwest of St. Louis. We could see another round of severe weather starting to break out as we take a look on Sunday. So we're definitely going to keep an eye on that. Overall, though, not really seeing too much, because as we do take a look here, this is that frontal boundary that's really going to start to pick up through the day tomorrow. We're going to see those winds. So ultimately, you see all these light white lines right here. Almost think of it as like a garden hose. If you put your thumb over the top of this, if you put your thumb over the nozzle of a garden hose, the pressure builds. So when we see that, we see these little winds and these little white lines start to get closer together. And that really means that those winds are going to be getting stronger. And we're seeing that, starting to see a little bit more of the condensing of these lines right here. Taking a look, though, we're really focusing in on that severe weather, especially across the Midwest, Deep South. This is what's going to continue to move in across the Southeast, but really not moving anywhere near Florida. We are staying dry at least through the next 7 days. It is definitely going to be dry as we take a look ahead, and really taking a look at your 7-day forecast. No rain in sight. It's going to be breezy. We already talked about that. But as we do take a look a little bit later on, those temperatures are going to sizzle. We're going to see another round of the 90s as we take a look at the start of next week. So it's going to be on the warm side for sure. So we're really going from spring to almost a summer-like pattern as we take a look ahead into next week. And if you're planning on heading to the beaches, it's going to continue to stay warm even on the beaches as well. Breezy pretty much through the next 7 days. Temperatures lingering throughout the upper 70s and low 80s. Very pleasant, but it is going to be breezy. So heads up if you are planning on heading to the beach this weekend.
The beach sounds good to me. It's still not quite hot enough for me at the beach yet, though.
The water's still a little bit too cold for me.
Yeah, I'm a weakling with that. I need it to be sizzling to be having fun at the beach. Oh, that's a lie. I just wear a long sleeve shirt. But it's a lot warmer now in the water. The water was really chilly earlier in spring. I think it's up to 71 now off Daytona Beach, which is about average. So if you're planning on doing maybe an Easter beach walk with your family or friends, or just hitting a weekend stroll, the other nice thing too is that low tide coincides with. That's always the best part of summer, with beach in it. I mean, I'm a beach bum. I can sit out there all day. But when low tide coincides with sunset, you get a sandbar action. A little nice wide beach. So that's the deal this weekend. I think low tide's like 7 or 8 o'clock this weekend. So some good stuff there.
Good stuff for sure. But yeah, we're going to be here Thursdays and Fridays at 7:30. So make sure you come on out and join us.
I hope you have a great weekend, and happy Easter if you do celebrate. Have a great weekend, everybody.